Welcome back to some Celeste. I'm Dear Darling, and we'll face our inner demons and reach the summit together on our final journey here in Farewell. We had to actually get to the end, which is the first part. By the way, variant mode, looked it up. It seems like it's just sort of a ways you can turn on like different gimmicks and things like that to make things harder or easier for yourself. It's sort of like a fun mode. It's been obviously so long since I've played this chapter, and I can vaguely sort of remember things to do, but I feel very ungraceful is probably how I'd put it with doing this. But hopefully that muscle memory is locked in there with me, so it's not going to take too long to remember exactly how to beat this level. Did I always have the music on this loud? Oh no, I think I turned it down during Farewell, because for some reason in Farewell it's so much louder than like every other level. So, and obviously what you're here for is not my Celeste gameplay or to watch Celeste, is definitely to hear me talk about absolute nonsense. I said sarcastically. Well, I don't know, maybe you are. It's the best of both worlds. Why not both? To quote that famous taco commercial, I think. I will say, I haven't actually had many tacos. So do I have a preference over hard and soft? I don't actually know, but I'm going to assume I prefer soft tacos, because I do like tortillas. But if I'm going to go down that logic, I also like crisps, I guess. That's not how you do it. I forgot you had to diagonal dash now, not vertical dash. As soon as I did it, I was like, this is wrong for some reason, but I can't remember why. That's exactly why, because you go... Wait, it's not right. Saved. It's like, this doesn't seem... That didn't feel right. That didn't feel smooth. Didn't feel like butter. Smooth like butter. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, I'm sorry. But yeah. Ugh. I'm not sure when the last time I had a taco is. I remember I saw like this infographic of like countries where Taco Bell is, and UK was actually on there as one of them, and I was like, we have Taco Bell in UK? Where? I assume somewhere in London, probably in Soho or something, That tends to be where things are. But it's definitely not a common thing. I've never seen a Taco Bell in UK, as far as I'm concerned. Is it good? I don't know. I mean, obviously it's not going to... compared to... actually going to Mexico and I assume having a taco, but... or... anything of that sort. But, maybe I should try it at some point. And decide for myself if I like a soft or hard taco. Excuse me, why'd I do that? It's weird how many sort of like American... I apologise if you're not actually American as well, but maybe you can relate to this as well. How many sort of like American food chains I'm aware of, but like I literally have no idea what they're known for or what they sell. Like I know there's Wendy's, there's Jack in the Box, In-N-Out, which I assume does burgers, because I think it's now called it's called In-N-Out Burgers. Shake Shack, which I actually think we do have in UK, but I just don't know where it is. Probably in London. It's always in London. You got Chipotle. You got Taco Bell, of course. You got like all of these things. Like the only like American fast food restaurant which I'm particularly aware of that I've seen in more places outside of just like a random street in London, I suppose. Oh gosh, is Five Guys. And I quite like Five Guys. The only thing about Five Guys is obviously it's kind of expensive. Maybe it's not expensive in America, but it's expensive at least here as fast food standards go in UK. But it's actually probably my favourite by taste. But they just give you way too many chips. Oh, sorry, fries. Like, even their regular fries is literally like triple or double like other portions in other fast food chains, which is just absurd. Maybe part of it's due to the Americans generally having larger portion sizes or something with food servings, so they're just keeping to American roots. I can respect that, to be honest. It just surprised me the first time I went there. I was like, oh, just have a burger, I guess some chips and a milkshake, and I was like, I cannot finish all this food. This is crazy. How did I do the same thing twice? How was that the part I screw up on? Oh yeah, if you're wondering what we're doing, we're getting the moonberry. I'm not sure if I said it in this episode. I said it in the last episode, though. We're getting the moonberry, which is a hidden final strawberry in this level, which, to get it, we have to go through all of Farewell, I believe. And then at the end, basically after we break the electricity box, we have to turn around instead of following Granny Bird and bad line upwards to meet Granny once more. So, you know, it's been a while since we've got here. It's taken some time. It's been a long time, but now we've made it. But this part's relatively easy. I remember, what's her name? I remember her name, but the person who always comes to Mount Celeste with Cavalcadence, that's it. Or in my mind, the Luca avatar. So I don't actually need to dash when I toss out the jellyfish on the switch part of this level. But I'm going to do it anyway, because that's kind of just, you know, my muscle memory, I suppose. So yeah, but like, thank you to all the people who've been leaving helpful not suggestions, or not just suggestions, but like advice, tips, and little tidbits who've come along on the Celeste journey with me. Whether you were here from very early on, or whether you know, were a bit of a later guess. It's all very much appreciated. Okay, can I remember this? But I probably should have thought about what's in this section, because I honestly can't quite remember. You have to get a feather at one point, right? You get a golden... oh, that's it. You bounce on that jelly... You bounce... It's not jellyfish. A blowfish. Or pufferfish. You bounce on its head. You make it explode, and it tosses you into a golden feather. And then what? Was that a load of springs, I think? I can't remember what's after that. Oh, then it's the jellyfish jumps, isn't it? You fall down into the continuous jellyfish jumpings, which is, you know, going to be difficult, but at least it's not wave dashing. Double wave dashing in a row. Yeah, it's been a wild journey in Celeste. How much better I've gotten at this game, which, you know, it tends to happen when you spend, like, how many hours I've played this for, like 30 or 40. And the sad thing is, I'm not even going to get Steam achievements for it, or anything, because I don't own it on Steam. I own it on every other platform. Or, well, I think, maybe I do own it on... No, I don't. I own it on itch.io. That's the version I'm playing on. I also own it on Epic, I think. But I'm not playing it on Epic, because for some reason the Steam controller didn't work with it. That's not what I meant to do. That's not good. So yeah, we're sort of just going to vibe. We're going to see how long... Do you want to make a bet now how many episodes it's going to take for us to get the Moonberry? I'm going to say episodes, because I'm absolutely certain we're not going to be able to do it in one episode. I will be astonished, because the like tutorial video itself for how to even get to the Moonberry was like... I can't remember how long it was, but I think it was like 8 minutes long. And it's going to take me at least... I think it's going to take me at least like 2 episodes to even get to the ending part of Farewell once more. And I don't know how many more episodes it's going to take for me to actually get good enough at the Moonberry level to actually get any distance with it. But hopefully it won't take too long. Hopefully, because, you know, as I said, I haven't played the game for about a month. Well, that's not true, because 1 hour ago I haven't played the game for a month, so I'm sort of just trying to warm back up into it. I'm playing something familiar. I suppose it's a good way to do it, despite it being rather difficult. We can still make it a reasonably... I'm not going to say easily. It was a bit of an ordeal, but... I think possibly... You know, now I'm looking at it. Possibly we can get to the end. I think we can probably get to the end once this episode, I think. Okay, what is it? You hop, that's right. Dash. Golden feather. It's too high up, unfortunately. The muscle memory is all entirely gone. We're going to have to redevelop it again. I wonder how many of these episodes there's going to be on Farewell itself. Not just a chapter, I mean this sub-chapter. Well, I guess this part is a chapter. Wait, what a... How, I swear this never... This is like the first times I've actually died by missing the spring, by floating downwards. I think it's because it's a thing where you're like, oh, you know, I should be able to do this, so it's super easy. So I get complacent, which you can't afford to do. It's like, you know, sometimes I get that when playing rhythm games. I'm just like, oh, this is such a easy difficulty. I'll absolutely be able to full combo it, and then I don't, because, you know, I was slacking, well, not slacking off, that's not really the way I wanted to phrase it. It's more like I wasn't paying enough attention, because I was like, oh, this is so easy, I don't really even need to pay attention. And then it just happens, and I'm just like, oh no, I dropped like a note right near the end or something. Complacency. Or as I say, in Darkest Dungeon, which is a game I've never played, but it seems kind of cool, overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. I like to think I'm not particularly overconfident, but you never know. Looks can be deceiving. Well, I guess you can't see me. Sounds can be deceiving? Yeah. It turns out a lot of things can be kind of deceiving. The human mind's surprisingly fallible when it comes to, well, anything. I'm just busting out a thesaurus here, apparently to use my words. Gotta get my my crossword practice in. Did a crossword today? It was pretty difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I found it pretty difficult compared to usual. Because for the past few days I was like, oh man, I'm doing so well. I can do about 90% of a crossword in expert mode, and then like the last 10% I had to do in regular because I couldn't figure out the clues. Today's crossword, I was like, I'm so stuck so early. I didn't know, I didn't get the theme. I didn't know so many of the clues, and I was just like, you know what? Just do it in regular mode. I'm here to do crosswords for fun. And if it ain't fun, then what's the point, hun? Oh, what am I doing? I just forgot what to do. So you know how I said that thing where we're probably going to make it in this episode? It's not looking promising, huh? But to be fair, all that muscle memory is somewhere in my brain. It's locked up. I just gotta, you know, let it ignite the light. I always seem to do better when I'm singing. And let it shine. It's a bit of a high song for me to be singing, so I don't know why I'm singing it, to be honest. If you don't like my singing, then I apologise. But, you know, if other episodes weren't sort of like a warning sign that this person sings too much, then, you know, I guess I'll warn you now. I sing way more out of video than I do on video. Because, you know, I'm conscious about it. I'm not like self-conscious. I'm not like, oh, I'm terrible at singing. I mean, I'm not great, obviously. I've never like learned how to sing. I have musical background to a certain extent, but not in singing or vocal performances of that kind. But I'm not like, I don't really care that I'm that bad at singing or anything. I'm singing for myself. I'm not singing for, like, I don't know, if I was up there on X Factor trying to sing, trying to get like a record deal or something, perhaps I'd be more conscious about that sort of thing. But, you know, I'm just, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm here playing Celeste. my singing ability is not really on the forefront of my mind. What song have I got stuck in my head right now? Nothing really, actually. Should we get a song stuck in my head? I had Hikaru Nara by Goose House in my head earlier today. You might also know it as the ending, I think it's the ending theme to Your Lie in April. I don't know, I've never actually seen, I was going to call it a movie, it's not a movie. Never actually seen that anime. So I don't know for certain. I don't know why I'm screwing up this part so much. I feel like I didn't screw up that. I find it weird the parts I'm screwing up on compared to the parts I screwed up on the first time through. Da 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 da. What the heck is? What the heck am I doing? I could have saved that if I actually did a jellyfish jump, but I didn't. Kimi da yo, nan da yo. Those aren't the lyrics, but those are just like what my brain's remembered the lyrics as. You might be like, that makes no sense. Didn't you learn Japanese a little bit? Yeah, okay, I did, but, you know, I also haven't listened to the song all that much. So, but the lyrics I've got in my head are sort of just like an impression of what I think the lyrics are. Memorising lyrics in a language you're not fluent in is significantly harder than when you are, perhaps unsurprisingly. Okay, just, you know. That took a surprisingly long time for the jellyfish to get here. Da 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 da. It's a very catchy song. Why are songs so catchy? Has anyone made like a non-catchy song? Was what I was going to say. But now I think about it, I talked about this recently in an Animal Crossing episode, or maybe it wasn't recently, I can't remember. It's called the Most Unwanted Song or something. I don't know who wrote it, but it's basically, they took a survey of like the American population of what they like in songs, and then they made two songs. One, the most wanted song, i.e. the most voted for things that people like in a song, and then the least wanted things in a song. And what ended up creating was a wanted song being a very, very generic, like, love, poppy song, ballad, duet with, you know, like key change. I forgot don't hold a direction. Or don't hold a right direction, at least, when on the jellyfish, because I forgot that launches you further. A very generic, like, pop ballad. How did this keep happening? Song, which, you know, you listen to it and be like, wow, this feels like the most generic song you've ever heard. And, you know, part of it is, I suppose, or most of it, well, it is just due to the fact that, you know, this is what happens when you focus group too much. If by creating something you ask literally too many people about what they want and what they want to see from it, you'll get so many different opinions which contradict each other that the only big stroke things, the only things which will come out will be very broad strokes, generic things which have appeal. And thus you get a very safe song, which doesn't really challenge much artistically. And thus, rather than appealing to everybody, and more like it satiates everybody. They're just like, yep, this is a song, I don't find it inoffensive. Or I find it inoffensive, sorry. And that's about it. Rather than everyone like listening to a song being like, ooh, this is my jam. You know, that's why we have different genres. That's why not everyone loves every genre. Like, I say a lot that I like all kinds of music, and it's true, to a certain extent. I think perhaps a better way to phrase it is not I love all kinds of like genres of music, it's more like I'm the same amount of indifference to most types of music. The genre doesn't really matter too much to me, so much as weirdly the story behind the music and that sort of thing, or the emotions I associate with it. Those tend to matter to me a lot more. So yeah, could I absolutely rock out to, well, maybe not rock out, but metal out to a metal song? Absolutely, I don't see why not. But do I go out seeking metal songs all that often? No, not really. Okay, jellyfish jumps. Jellyfish jumps, so go! Ooh, and I'm taking it slow because I can't remember how to do a lot of this part. Okay, if I recall correctly, you hit this once, you hit this twice, and then you had to go over here. Oh, okay. What? I see. Way to wave dash off of this. I assume we go up here. My hands are surprisingly sweaty, dude. I'm a little bit nervous. I shouldn't be. No! I messed up the wave dash. I don't know why I did a standing wave dash rather than a jumping one. I should have done it like that. Okay, well, at least we know we can get there. And it only took, amusingly, 18 minutes. So, successful. Look, I beat my own expectations. Which is always nice to do. You know, set low expectations so when you exceed them, you're like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry, what was I talking about before? Actually, I don't remember. Oh yeah, the most unwanted song. Okay, it's actually hilarious. You should definitely listen to it. Maybe, you don't need to listen to all of it, because I don't think you need to listen to all of it to really get the gist of it. It is like 20 minutes long. So I've seen one of the things that the American populace was like, I don't like when a song is ridiculously long. So they just made it insanely long. But it's just made up of the most random things. Like, a significant part of it is operatic soprano. Basically, someone who sings very high and is much more used to singing in operas. Rapping for huge amounts of it. And the contents of the lyrics just being like, being a cowboy, I think. And it's got some weird sort of like country banjos or whatever playing. I gotta say, look, the soprano rapping is probably the favourite thing. How I wish that opera and rap was a much more common genre crossover. Because it's probably the most hilarious thing I've listened to. Is it grating on the ears? Yeah, absolutely. But it's evocative, shall we say. Evocative of what, you might say? Something? Invokes some sort of feeling in me. Probably more of distress rather than of, you know, like, I don't know, appeal. There's also, like, kids singing, like, Walmart jingles or something. Being like, I'll go to Walmart to take advantage of the Christmas sales. I'm like, Christmas time. That's it. Christmas time. Buy something's at Christmas time. At Walmart. It's just like, listening to it is an entire trip in of itself. And I don't mean the drug kind, but like, I mean, maybe the drug kind. I mean, like, it takes you on a journey, and you don't really know where you end up, nor where you're going, but you definitely get somewhere. But it definitely gives a strong sense of dissatisfaction in my mind. But in some ways, I do like it more than the Most Wanted song. Just because it's so out there. It's so weirdly out there. What? Excuse me, game. I have you know, I don't think I dashed in that direction, but I probably did. But I'm going to act indignant about it because that way I don't have to blame myself. And can instead be like, oh, it was a glitch, you know, it wasn't me. I'm perfect. It's the game which is stopping me, not me. I can't be the one stopping my own progress. No, that means I had to admit my own failures and my own shortcomings and face them head on rather than brushing them off as someone else's problem. You know. That's all me. Obviously that was all sarcastic if you didn't quite realise. I'm well aware of my own failures and shortcomings. I'm not going to blame the game. The game's only doing what it can. And to be honest, I don't think I've even run into any Celeste glitches. I mean, I'm sure some of the like not mechanical, the movement options you have probably were birthed from glitches or that sort of thing. But you know, now that they've been incorporated into part of the game, they feel, rather natural. They feel like an intended mechanic, one might say. But yes, that's not right. I'm trying to think what else happened in that Most Unwanted song. It's just ridiculous because they go through like so many different holidays. They basically have the chorus of kids singing that advertising warm-up jingle over and over again, multiple times throughout the song. I think it appears like 10 times or something, but all for different holidays. And they get like far more obscure holidays over and over and over and over again. That's what I remember. They go like Christmas, and I'm like, alright. Then it's like Halloween. It's like, okay, I guess. It was like Thanksgiving. It's like, alright. And then they go like Ramadan, and I'm like, okay, that's a bit random. Like, but fair enough. We love that inclusivity, that commercial inclusivity, I suppose, which is not exactly the best, but I suppose it's evocative of something. And then they go like Labor Day, and I'm just like, what? I don't even know what Labor Day is. I know it's American holiday. I don't really know what you do on it. I don't even know when it is. I think it's in May. That seems right to me. It's just like a day where you're not meant to work, despite it being called Labor Day. Is it just meant to like celebrate everyone who works out? I don't know. Who does labour? The meaning is a bit lost on me. It's probably got actually some like really significant historical meaning or something. And I'm just like, I don't mean to like poke fun of it in like a serious way. Like everything I'm saying here is born out of ignorance, not like really because I'm just like, oh, I'm trying to spout nonsense. It's more like I legitimately don't know, because obviously Labor Day is not a thing in here in UK, or if it is it doesn't go by Labor Day name. But there might be a UK equivalent. There probably is. I just don't know what it would be. Okay, don't press a button. Grab the feather. Get on down. And we're back in the jellyfish. Jump section. Well, we would be if I didn't mess it up. I am dying in all sorts of new ways in my revisit to Farewell. It's astonishing. And honestly kind of funny. Well, maybe you didn't find it funny. I find it kind of funny. Maybe you're watching and you're just like, hurry up and just get to the Moonberry already. What's taking you so long? I don't know. I'm trying, okay? It's just hard. It's a very difficult ordeal. No, of course. You're probably not like that. I mean, all the people who watch my videos tend to be rather supportive, if anything. Encouraging. Which is good, you know, that's the sort of environment I like to foster, if I could. You know, we all encourage each other. We're all on each other's side. No enemies here. Make love, not war, as they say. Or make peace, not war, if you'd rather that instead, you know? I ain't judging. We don't need any conflict here. We're all here to vibe. We're all here to have a good time. We're here to jam out. We're here to listen to my random ramblings. Probably you got me on my second monitor. You're doing something on your other monitor. Maybe you're doing some homework, in which case you got question 16C wrong. You might want to look at it again. And then, you know, you'll sometimes pay attention to what I'm doing, where it seems like something significant is happening, like I make a noise like, or, no. That might have all been totally inaccurate, by the way, so who really knows? Well, that's how I watch my YouTubers, so. That's how I assume everyone watches my content. Okay, take your time. Except for when you can't take your time, then don't take your time. That was too low. I was surprisingly too low. Okay, so it seems like next time... I mean, we've gotten a small taste of the Moonberry Path. Unfortunately, it requires wave dashing, it seems. Which is not really my most consistent mechanic. Is this even possible now? Not like that, certainly. It's not my most consistent thing to do. Oh, you know what we should have done if we really wanted to not die there? We should have bopped on the pufferfish's head, knocked it off screen, and then it would have respawned. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well, Horatio. It was the east and Juliet was the sun. Wait a minute, those are two different Shakespeare plays. You can't do that. You crossing Romeo and Juliet with Richard III? That's not Richard III, you say? Haha, I know. I can't actually remember where it's from. Is it from Othello? Probably. I'm not that well versed in Shakespeare. I know. The only ones I've read are the ones we had to do for our English and Literature GCSE, or English Lit GCSE, DAB as they call it, which was Richard III and Romeo and Juliet. Actually, I don't even think we did Romeo and Juliet for GCSE. Now I think about it, we did it for in like a previous year. Actually, I think we did Macbeth as well. Wait, did I do Richard III or Macbeth? Are they the same? Wait, I think Macbeth's in Richard III. Maybe. I don't know, I'm getting confused. My horse, my kingdom for a horse. That's the one we did for GCSE. Well, we had to analyse. I can't remember. I can't even remember what the thing we had to analyse was. I thought it was one of our writing coursework assessments, and it was not one of the ones I got a highest mark on. I think I got a higher mark on... I'm trying to think what we did. We did, for the exam, we did Lord of the Flies and Mr. Pip. And then for the coursework, we did Far From the Madding Crowd, Conflict Poetry Anthology, Richard III, and something else. Okay, that was weird. I forgot. I got totally thrown off my rhythm there, so that ended up not working out for me. And we did one more. I can remember the conflict poetry one. I did it based off Hawk Roosting by Ted Hughes. Sounds right. If you don't know, Hawk Roosting is a poem all about a hawk basically looking down upon like nature and being like, I am basically the best goddamn thing in this world. Look at me and despair, you mere mortals, for I am incredible. And then I wrote it about the hawk basically going through like a breakup. But they lost their love of her life and the world is shattering apart. And I got almost 4 marks on that. I think I lost 1 mark. So that was pretty good. Yeah. I don't know why I'm just bragging about my English Lit coursework results, but there you go. And I'm trying to remember the other ones. We did one on Father from Madding Crowd, except I can't remember what the analysis was about. But that's the other one I've submitted. We had to submit 2. One had to be... one of the ones you had to submit had to be like an analysis-based one based off a work of literature, i.e. the Richard III and the Far From Madding Crowd essays we wrote. And the other one had to be like a creative writing piece, I think, inspired by something, which is what my Hawk Roosting one was. Or maybe I only did one because my first one was so good. I was just like, you know, nothing's going to beat that. Oh, you know what? It might have been an Inspector Calls. Because I remember we did that during GCSE time. I can't remember what we did about it though. Or what the creative exercise was. This might be our last attempt, I think. Yeah, this will have to be our last attempt. See how far we can get. Because this is a pretty good one, and we're encroaching on a 30-minute timer. I don't quite... There's something about Inspector Calls, I think. But what was it about? I think, oh, you know what? I think we had to write about, like, a story about one of the characters in Spectacles and their interaction with that poor girl. I can't remember her name. If you read in Spectacles, you know what I'm talking about. And I believe I wrote it from a perspective of Sheila. And being jealous about that other girl looking really good in her dress or something. That feels vaguely familiar to me, but the problem is we also had like a speech writing assignment as well, where I also wrote as Sheila. So I'm not sure if I'm getting confused or not. Okay, jellyfish jumping. You can do this. Just focus. In. We go bop. Bop. Oh! I can't believe that happened. I accidentally wave dashed because I pressed down to dash and then I switched upwards too quickly. That is probably the most hilarious ending. Okay, well, we're going to be trying to get them in there in whatever as many parts as it takes. So, please stay around for that journey because, you know, we're nearing the end. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Celeste. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscription shares are greatly appreciated. Join the Dear Darling Discord. Follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.